My sister had a teddy bear, a scary teddy bear. I don't know why, but it creeped me out. It was just so disturbing to me. The thing had eyes that looked so real. It was as if it was made from a real bear, and its face was just blank and unsettling. I first started to get weird feelings about the bear when my sister first got it. She was only a baby at the time, and I was about 4. We had a dog, you see, and he had a habit of eating things, so my mother always had to put it on a small cabinet in the corner of the hallway upstairs. Every time I went up those stairs, I saw that creepy bear suddenly glare around the corner at me, as if it was watching me. This wasn't the weird part. It started to get really weird about 5 years later. At the age of 6 or 7, my sister had lost interest in the bear. So my mother just threw it in the old toy cupboard. The only problem was that the cupboard was in my room. When I was 9, old enough to stay on my own and go to bed without any assistance, I would get into my bed every night and turn my lamp off. This is when it got scary. As I was getting some sleep, I suddenly remembered Mom putting that teddy in the cupboard. I slowly turned to look over across my room to see it through the glass. My heart suddenly stopped as I thought about the horrors the plush had caused me. But at the age of 9, I wanted to grow up and lose my fears. So I just shook it off and put my head on the pillow. When I got to put my sheets on a bit further, I noticed something that would scar me for life. There sat at the end of my bedroom, the teddy. My heart started beating normally again. I sat there staring at it for about a minute. When I needed to yawn, I closed my eyes. I opened them to see the teddy sitting closer to my bed. At this point, I was really freaked out. I started to move back to the wall and looked around to see if there was any sign that anyone had come in. When I looked back to see the teddy on the end of my bed, I was so startled that I almost fainted from fear. When I blinked, it had gone. I looked around. To my relief, I saw no sign of it. I set my head back down on my pillow, hoping for some sleep. Then I opened my eyes. It was above my head, staring straight down. I screamed as it lunged down at me. I would never see a bear the same way again. A few years later, after years of horror, I burned it. I sat in enjoyment as the bear was turned to smoking ashes in my fireplace. I have lived my teenage life through adolescence. The only thing I could remember that was in any way similar to my bad experience was when I watched Trainspotting. That fucking baby scene shocked me so badly, but other than that, all was well. When I turned 19, I was about to move into my new home. I had been given the keys to the house and was ready to set my furniture. After hours of carrying, I carried the final box from the removal truck into the front door and shut the door behind me. I turned to go into the kitchen and put it on the table. I opened to see a cabinet. I took it out, walked into my new living room, and placed it in the corner. I stared at it and thought to myself, I don't remember packing this cabinet. I didn't really care that much, as I had just moved into my new home. I walked back into the kitchen and grabbed my television and brought it into the living room when I saw it. The teddy just sat there, staring at me with those realistic blank eyes. It was beyond imagination, like something from a horror movie. My fears could not be contained, and whatever that bear or demon possessing it was, I knew I was scared. I threw it in the garbage and put a cinder block over the lid. I also slept in my bed that night, content and feeling a little more secure. I woke up in the night and checking the time, 12 o'clock. I heard a sound in the kitchen. I went to the kitchen and noticed that the outside door was wide open, with muddy paw tracks leading into the kitchen. I saw that one of my knives were gone from the holder, but then I heard something creeping behind me. I hightailed it to my car and drove. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw its face. It was holding a knife. I slammed the brakes. It flew through the front windshield, stood up, and stared right into my eyes. I felt as if it was pulling me towards it. The only thing that would be coming towards it would be my 2 front wheels. I rammed into it. and felt a slight bump. I sighed in relief and drove. And even a minute after, I felt as if something was cutting at the bottom of my car. Then my car grinded to a halt. I went out to check it. There was a slash through the fuel tank. I ran for dear life to the nearest hotel to stay at. The only one was a mile away. I ran with every feet. It was just 1 foot behind. Once I got to the hotel, I fell on the bed with exhaustion. When I woke up, it was at the end of my bed.